Hello everyone, it's David here with a post-match after Rangers went down 2-1 at Parkhead today. Very disappointing day again, and I think that two things cost us today. One was a lack of quality in the final third, and the other was the refereeing. And I think there's a tendency among fans to focus on one or the other and say, right, well, you know, but when it comes to the refereeing, or say, well, but, you know, we don't have quality players, but the refereeing was terrible. I think it's a bit of both. You know, I do think that the two aren't diametrically opposed to each other. Certainly Rangers' lack of quality and composure up front hurt us. We had enough chances today to get something out of that game. Celtic, they don't make an awful lot of chances, but they've got guys who can put the ball away when it comes to them. Kyogo, he's done it before. He's a player that makes a difference in these matches, and we don't have that type of striker. But the refereeing today was genuinely bordering on criminal. I mean, it was so bad. Three major incidents that went against Rangers, and one that went against Rangers that was correct. Firstly, in the first half, Alistair Johnston punches the ball out. It's a penalty kick. VAR doesn't award it, and then we hear half an hour later, after pretty unanimous condemnation of that decision, oh, but there was an offside in the build-up. Well, yes, maybe there was, in which case, fine, it's not a penalty, don't have a problem with that. But that wasn't why it wasn't given. And the reason you know that it wasn't given, and this has already been explained by referees, is that VAR only checks an offside if there's a consequence of a decision, i.e. a goal or a penalty. They then go back and check for offside. They didn't. That's why it starts with a goal kick, not with an offside free kick to Celtic, because Willie Collum in the VAR room hasn't said it's a penalty, hold on, I'll check for offside. He has said it's not a penalty, which is the wrong decision, and then he's thought, shit, I better go and look for something, and possibly finds an offside. And certainly the angle I've seen is after the ball has left Lundstrom's foot. So that one went against us. In the second half, Bernardo, on a yellow card, goes right through Connor Goldson. It's a booking, doesn't get booked for it. Obviously, VAR can't check that because it's a yellow card, not a red card. And then Johnston, with his fourth foul after getting booked, raises his arm in a challenge. He should be off. Second yellow, doesn't go against him. Later on, Leon Balogun miscontrols a pass. Maeda robs him, he's in goal. Balogun brings him down. It's a red card. No complaints whatsoever. The goals we gave away, the first one we could have done better with. Corner kick in, Sima heads it down out the middle of the box. You never do that. You head it away. It's just a bad header. Good finish from Bernardo, and we're one down. But again, we've had the chances. Cyril Dessers' chance will play in my nightmares for weeks. He's clean through and he does nothing. He doesn't pass. He doesn't control the ball properly. He doesn't get a shot away. He just basically stops. And Celtic defender gets back and robs him. He's not good enough. It's that simple. He's not good enough. Pound for pound, he's got to go down as one of our worst signings, I think. And, you know, even at that, we're still in the game. You want to start the second half, well, we don't, and we get punished by a peach. I mean, it's a wonderful goal from a Celtic point of view, Kyogo. And we know he's got that in his locker. He turns up in big games, and we need players who can do that. And then after that, you know, Rangers, I would have been intrigued to see what happened, because that stadium got nervous. James Tavernier gets a goal back with a couple of minutes left. Great free kick from him. Too little too late, as it turned out, but we're already down to 10 men. It'd have been interesting to see if that stadium got nervous when they were down to 9, but we didn't get that. So, yeah, I mean, we haven't learned anything we didn't know about this side. I'm not one for giving up the title just yet, and I'll tell you why. Celtic clearly have the mental thing over us in these matches, but I'm not sure this is an Old Firm games decide the league season. I think that Rangers are still very much in it. And I think we need to remember what Philippe Clement has achieved in the time that he's been here, incidentally, because, look, this squad is not good. It's that simple. We've got a goalie, we've got a guy in Tav who can produce goals and assists. That's pretty much it, really. And somehow the manager has managed to get us top of the group in Europe. He's managed to get us through and win the League Cup. And if he'd said to me when he took over, we'll be 8 points behind Celtic on the 1st of January, I'd have said, fair enough, that's, you know, and it's done. But 8 points with 2 games in hand is different. And I know people sometimes say, oh, games in hand don't get, you know, but you still need to win them. You still have the opportunity to close the gap. The question will be, can Rangers get players in January who can make that difference? And if we can, we've got a real shout at this. If we don't, then the same things will keep happening. And I think there is a question sometimes put forward, I've done it myself, about bottle and mentality and did they shit the bed. And I don't think they did today. I just think that they're not good enough in key places that you really need to be good enough. I don't think Celtic are anywhere near what they were under Postecoglou. If his team won that game today at 2-0 and 10 men, they won that game 5-0, really. That's what happens there. So, yeah, look, it's a sore one. It really is. But we'll dust ourselves down. And I think once we kind of look at this objectively, we'll say, right, okay, we know we have issues. That's why we change managers in the middle of the season. But we still have an opportunity to go on and hopefully do something moving on in the second half of the season. But, yep, it's a bitter pill to take. Any Old Firm defeat is. But overall, I think we're in a relatively healthy position. But we have to get the recruitment right. And the board have got to pony up some cash for the manager to be able to go and do that. Thanks for listening, folks. Have a good new year when it comes, and I'll talk to you again on Tuesday after we take on Kilmarnock at Ibrox.